Welcome to today's video. This is a B1 level science lesson, and today we're going to be talking about photosynthesis. So we're going to be thinking first about energy. Why do we need energy, and how do we get energy? So a plant needs some things to live and grow, and what are those things? So sunlight, water, soil. All right, so first you're going to match the words with the images. So you can pause the video, try that on your own. Okay, so A would be sunlight, B would be oxygen, C would be energy, and D, plants. Photosynthesis is how plants make food. They use sunlight, water, and air to make their own food. Leaves take in sunlight and use it to change water and oxygen into food. This food helps plants grow and gives them energy that they need to live. All right, now you can pause the video and read this more detailed description of photosynthesis, and then match the meaning to the words in bold, and then restart the video when you're ready to check your answers. Photosynthesis is a process that plants use to make food. They take in sunlight through their leaves and absorb water from the soil. Using a substance called chlorophyll found in their leaves, plants mix sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide from the air to create glucose, which is a type of sugar. This glucose is their food source and provides them with the energy needed to grow and survive. In this process, plants also release oxygen, which is essential for animals, including humans, to breathe. All right, so to continue living despite difficult situations, letter A is to survive. And then B, to let something go or set it free, is release. Okay, to take in something, like how a sponge takes in water, that is absorb. Very important or necessary for something to work or live, essential. A type of sugar that gives energy to living things, glucose. And a series of steps is a process. All right, so now complete the text with the words from the boxes. You can pause the video, try it on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, so photosynthesis is a process that plants use to make food. They take in sunlight through their leaves and absorb water from the soil. Using a substance called chlorophyll found in their leaves, plants mix sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide from the air to create glucose, which is a type of sugar. This glucose is their food source and provides them with the energy needed to grow and survive. In this process, plants also release oxygen, which is essential for animals, including humans, to breathe. All right, so now we're going to read the text and complete the sentences with reactants or products. So during photosynthesis, light energy converts carbon dioxide and water, the reactants, into glucose and oxygen, the products. Okay, so see if you can fill in the blanks here. Okay, so number one, the reactants for photosynthesis are sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Reactants are the chemicals that you start with in a chemical reaction. And the products are the things that you make in a reaction. So we're going to talk about some verbs now. Absorb, take in, release, and convert. So let's read the definitions. To absorb means to take in a natural or gradual way. To release means to let go of something. To convert means to transform or change something. So an air conditioner releases cold air. A sponge absorbs water. And solar panels convert sunlight into electricity. All right, now complete each sentence with one of the verbs below. And you can pause the video, try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. All right, number one, the plant releases oxygen. The plant absorbs sunlight or light energy. The plant converts carbon dioxide and light energy into glucose and oxygen. The plant releases carbon dioxide. The plant releases glucose or sugar. And the plant absorbs minerals and water from the ground. All right, now decide if each sentence is true or false, and then you can practice making some of your own questions. Okay, plants need sunlight to grow. That is true. The leaves of a plant have chloroplasts. That is true. Plants take in oxygen and turn it into carbon dioxide. That is false. Photosynthesis creates glucose. That is true. And plants cannot use carbon dioxide to make energy. That is false. So cellular respiration. A plant performs photosynthesis. A human performs cellular respiration. So what is respiration? Well, it's another word for breathing. And what is the person taking in? They're taking in oxygen. What is he releasing? Maybe releasing carbon dioxide. So look at the picture and use the words that you've learned to describe the process of respiration. So we have the oxygen or air going in, the glucose going in. Coming out is carbon dioxide or being released. Energy keeps our bodies running, and water in the form of sweat are all things that are released by the body. So sequencing words show the order or sequence of events. So we're going to read this and then I'll ask you to find the sequencing words in the text. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants create energy from sunlight. First, in photosynthesis, plants absorb sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide from the air. Then the plant uses these elements to create glucose. This glucose is essential for growth and is used in cellular respiration to produce ATP. Meanwhile, the plants release oxygen as a byproduct. Cellular respiration is how cells break down glucose. First, they break down glucose into smaller molecules. Next, these molecules use the energy to create ATP. Finally, oxygen and carbon dioxide are balanced. So the sequencing words would be first, then, meanwhile, first again, next, and finally. All right, now the sequencing words show the order or sequence of events. So try to put each of these sequencing words into the correct category. So the beginning, the middle, or the end. So he says first we need instructions, so that would go in the beginning. Meanwhile refers to a period of time between two events, so that would probably be the middle. All right, so go ahead and try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check. So in the beginning we would say first or firstly. To start with, and initially. All right, in the middle we would find then, second or secondly. After that, meanwhile. And then our ending words, last or lastly. And finally. All right, now take a look at this and put the sentences in the correct order. So they already give you A as number one. The carbon cycle is like a big recycling system for carbon. And one of the vocabulary words is breakdown, or a phrasal verb, breakdown. It means to separate or divide into smaller parts. So go ahead and try that on your own, and then restart the video when you're ready to see the answers. All right, so A is number one. We already said the carbon cycle is like a big recycling system for carbon. Number two is letter C. First, plants take carbon from the air and use it to make food through photosynthesis. Okay, number three would be F. Meanwhile, animals eat these plants, getting the carbon too. And then number four would be E. Then, when plants and animals die, tiny creatures in the soil break them down, releasing carbon back into the air. And then number five is B. Also, when people burn things like wood or fossil fuels, it sends more carbon into the air. And six is D. This cycle keeps going with carbon moving between the air, plants, animals, soil, and back to the air again. right, let's see what you can remember about the carbon cycle. And from the picture, what can you remember about the process? All right, and then you can pause the video, try this review slide, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. So number one, the process. The photosynthesis is essential for living organisms. Leaves absorb sunlight to make food for the plant through photosynthesis. Animals need water to survive. The water cycle describes how water moves through the environment. Solar panels convert sunlight into electricity for our homes. And cells release energy stored in food to fuel various bodily functions. All right, and then we're talking about the word metabolism. So, metabolism can involve oxygen, water, dry food, and chemical energy entering the body. And then carbon dioxide, sweat and breath, breathing hard or sweating, producing urine, producing feces, and generating heat are all results of metabolism. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.